Hi, welcome back to Twin Tuesday. I'm Dr. Friedman. I was talking to a number of individuals this week, all female identical twins, and they all more or less were talking about caretaking woes. And it's always so interesting to me how they present themselves in such different forms. One woman told me that her sister's weaknesses are her responsibilities. I think the way she framed that or articulated that summed up so well how so many, mostly female identical twins, get involved in these caretaking dilemmas that are so painful. Another woman was also telling me, a younger woman, that she's having difficulty individuating from her sister because she recognizes that she's been feeling so powerful about herself and good about herself in her capacity to rescue her twin sister from many personal tragedies that have happened to her over the years. And now her twin sister is doing well and doesn't need so much intervention from her twin. And so her twin is in some way pulling her away and asking her to please not take up so much of her time and not be so needy and to please give her more space. And so the woman I was speaking to was telling me that even though she's planning to get married in a few months, the idea of not being her sister's number one is so painful for her because she's built up such a sense of importance and power and grandiosity, I'm saying in the best sense of the word, about how much she can rescue her sister. And without playing those functions anymore, she really has to try to create, more activities or different feelings about herself as a person that don't get that validated or run through the kind of rescuing that she's always done and sacrificing, the rescuing and sacrificing that she's felt she's always done for her sister. And then a third person that I spoke to very briefly was very much in a dilemma about how to continue to be caretaking for a twin that was mentally ill, or struggling with mental health issues. And I hear this a lot. It's not uncommon that one twin seems to grow up without having those issues or does have those issues, but definitely is able to manage them eventually, whereas her twin does not and isn't able to manage them over time. So the question becomes, how does that twin who's been able to get on a healthier path, what does she do for her sister? Does she want to be an enabler? Does she want to give her some help from more of a distance? I mean, every person in this situation has to figure out what their boundaries are because there's no size fits all. It's very much going to depend on how they grew up, how their relationship has evolved, and how their adult lives have really differed. So that is a really big problem for a lot of identical twins to rectify because they really have to set boundaries that are very painful and make them feel very guilty when they feel like they can't devote their lives to taking care of a twin who's struggling with mental illness. So anyway, the caretaking is a very, very complex and complicated issue for so many twin pairs. And it always continues to surprise me how often that it arises in people's questions and people seeking me out to try to figure out how best to pursue these situations. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.